Hi, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us and hanging tight while we got set up for an awesome panel tonight. My name is Dora Angali. I'm the head of university programs at Algorand Foundation, and we're super excited to have everyone here and to host Blockbeam and our fantastic panel tonight to talk about careers in blockchain, hear about their stories, learn from their experience, get some advice. Just some housekeeping rules before we get started. So on the bottom right, you will see a chat window. So if you want to ask us some questions, please do not use the chat, use the questions tab instead. That's right next to it. And if you open your chat window, you'll see a little bell in the upper right-hand corner. Please cross that out, just click on it, because otherwise every time somebody puts a little chat notification in the chat, we will all get to hear a friendly Bing, and I think we all have enough of those in our lives. So please turn off the little bell. If you have questions for the panel, please put them in the questions tab, and I'm sure we'll go through these in the end. I will be putting some poll questions in the chat later today. So if you see them, please feel free to respond. We just want to learn a little bit more about you. And yeah, please feel free to say hi in the chat. One of our panelists is running a little bit late. She will join us as soon as she can. And with this, I'll hand over to Bennett and Drew. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So thanks, Dora, and thanks for our speakers for being here. And thank you to the Algorand Foundation in general for hosting us. So for anyone not familiar, we are Blockbeam. We like to say that we are a community-backed platform. And what we really do is help you understand career advice in Web3 and then connect to cohort-based learning to help you advance on your goals. So if anyone's not familiar, cohort-based learning is this super awesome education model where you basically work with a group of 30, 40 other students, meet educators and professionals within the ecosystem, and then work on a project to showcase your skills. So you really get a whole bunch of stuff. You get experience working in Web3, you build relationships with a whole cohort of friends, and you meet professionals. Every single week, we host career advice and opportunities for free. So what this looks like is it's employer AMAs. Later in December, we're going to be having Circle. We've done some events with Galaxy Digital, and we're going to continue to bring more kind of big employers in the space to talk about the opportunities they have and how you can differentiate. Some other stuff we like to do is inclusivity spotlights. So look at people who are really making a difference in Web3 in terms of making it more diverse. And also we have resume workshops and recruiter advice. So literally you talking directly to someone who's interfacing with companies constantly about what you can be doing to set yourself apart. The other thing we do is we talk about boot camps. So if you go to the next slide, Bennett. So these boot camps are the cohort-based learning that I was just mentioning. Maybe the most popular on the platform is the Gateway to Algorand. So we've had a massive amount of students graduate this year, and it's going to get even better in 2023. Basically, you come into the program, learn about the different startups in the Algorand ecosystem and their business value. And then you meet the leaders actually from those startups, are able to ask them your questions on how these models actually work. And you work with a team of students to create your own startup idea, which at the conclusion of the program, you then pitch to VCs. We then have close relationships with different technical boot camps in the Algorand ecosystem. So if you're technical, you can go through this program, learn about how you actually build a startup, get your idea, and then go straight to a technical boot camp to gain those skills to take it to the next level. So scan this link. You can find all these opportunities right on the platform. If anything gets updated, it will ping you directly. You can also turn off any notifications if you would like. But with that, we will stop sharing the slides and get right into our awesome panel.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew. Let's just go around and start with a brief introduction. I know we had an introduction in the email that was sent out, but PG, do you want to kick us off?
Absolutely. Sorry, guys. My internet is not the best. It has been raining like crazy in California, which is very unusual. And apparently not even the internet knows how to deal with it. So apologies if I disconnect again. Hopefully everything is fine now. But thanks, Drew, for all the introduction. Thanks, Dora, as well. Very, very excited to be here. This is actually a topic that is very, very close to my heart. My name is Pier Giacomo Palmisani, but I go by PG. I'm head of gaming at the Algorand Foundation. But before that, I was co-founder of a nonprofit called the Blockchain Acceleration Foundation that is dedicated to actually a lot of this and what we're talking here today. So dedicated to accelerate education at the university level. We started the first courses at several UCs, UCLA, UC Davis, UC Santa Barbara. Got a lot of students in the industry, at jobs, at internships, at some of like the best companies in the industry, including the Protocol Labs, Algorand, Near, and other protocols. And before that, I was running the blockchain club at UCSB, UC Santa Barbara, where I graduated. And it was a great experience. So happy to maybe untackle that. And also because I think it's a great way, especially if you're still in school, getting involved with your blockchain club is the easiest and most impactful thing you can do. I let the other panelists introduce themselves, and then maybe we can dive deeper into this.
Awesome. Thanks. Alexa, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So guys, thanks for having me and all the panelists also. So it is literally early career for me in blockchain. I have recently graduated from business administration 2 years ago. I started off working before at a VC called Oikos, and then I was at Endeavor, which is an entrepreneurial organism all worldwide. And after that, I started at AgriToken as a senior associate to the CEO. So first time in blockchain industry. So here I am.
Awesome. Thanks. And Benedetto.
Hello, everyone. My name is Benedetto Biondi. I am the CEO of Volks Finance. I am more of an employer here, but also a fast growth of career that I had from I was a student a few years ago as well. Honestly, I was a mechanical engineer, and I tried to work as a mechanical designer in my past. I didn't like. Then I decided to change. I did a master in innovation and management. That's where I met blockchain technology. Then I started to work as project manager for a software house in Milan that does blockchain development. And this software house was between the 12 first global partner of Algorand. And once we saw DeFi growing on Algorand, we were like, okay, let's build something cool. And good for my career, but bad for my free time. I switched from being a project manager to the CEO of Volks Finance, which is great. I love it, and I'm happy to talk to you about it. And thanks for having me here.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for the brief intros. Just for a little bit of background, I'm also still a student at Northeastern University, also the co-founder of Blockbeam with Drew. I started the blockchain club at Northeastern, and I've been in crypto since about 2017. But I'm now taking some time off of school to continue to work on crypto full-time for Blockbeam. So kind of just taking a step back, I'd love to learn how everyone was first interested in Web3, or like what was the shining moment in their life. They're like, okay, this is it. Time for me to go down the rabbit hole. We can go backwards around. Benedetto, if you want to start. Oh, how did you first get interested in Web3, Benedetto?
Sorry, I think I have some bad connection. Can you repeat, please?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was lagging.
No worries. How did you first get interested in Web3?
Yeah, so I was interested about crypto in terms of, as everyone was, like Bitcoin is a good investment. But I was reading a bit interesting technology, but never took really my passion into that. And then once smart contract went into the game, and I was doing this master into innovation and management. We did innovative IT technologies with IoT, AI, and it was also blockchain. And that's where I started to learn more. And this technology really piqued my interest. So then after that, I applied for the job at the software house. And once really I saw DeFi, I felt just love, honestly, because for me, DeFi, it's the most, like in general, blockchain applied to financial services. And then, we evolved the world into decentralized finance is just very beautiful, both in terms of technology, but also in terms of philosophy, right? Ethically speaking, decentralized finance can solve many problems in the world. If you think right now around the world, there are over 1.7 billion of people that are currently unbanked. And most of those, they have a smartphone, right? So with a smartphone, they can have financial services. Am I lagging? Is it good? Because my laptop just requested me to refresh.
No, you're all good. We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's where that's when Volksfinance came in, really, and it just started to be my 24/7. Yeah, and now it's 2 years that I'm covering this role in Volksfinance. So, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Time flies. Feels like just yesterday. Alexia, do you want to talk about your kind of journey into crypto?
Yeah, actually, to be honest, when I first started at AgroToken, I didn't even know what Web3 technology was. I had heard of blockchain, but didn't actually know what companies were using it for. But I was fascinated by the idea of changing the agro-commodity business, an industry that had been the same for over 120 years, and improving it with some sort of technology. So when Eduardo, the CEO, called me and just told me about this crazy idea that he had, which I didn't understand much, I just went in and dived completely in.
Awesome. Thanks. And then PG.
Well, I first heard of Bitcoin from like a very, kooky friend of mine that was doing some engineering stuff, but also a bunch of hacking on the side. That was in 2013. I had zero money to spend. And also that was back when, like, if you wanted to buy something, you had to like go into a bar to meet somebody with a laptop, then give him cash and would send you a Bitcoin on the laptop. And it's like, yeah, no, thank you. Unfortunately, I guess. And then I got back in it. I studied economics. And I think that a lot of the models that actually ruled our monetary policies for the past decades or so were literally made up by people using certain variables that somehow, some way fit our society. A lot of this stuff did not really make sense to me because it seems like, oh, so anybody can just like make up an economic model and we just go for it. And that's where, I was like, okay, so maybe Bitcoin makes sense after all. So, I started, diving deeper. I'm a very analytical person and does a lot of research before, going into something. But I also, and I think that's what clicked for me. I started going to like events and meetups. I was living in Milan at the time, so I went to like a couple of meetups in Milan. And then I moved to California and started really, really getting involved in the community in Southern California. Met awesome people, met my co-founder via LinkedIn, and then we ran a booth at a conference together. It was actually LA Blockchain Summit where Benedetto and I were last week. It was the first edition, and I just love it. I love the energy. I met a lot of great people. I met David Chom at that conference. David Chom is the person that made the first version of digital token or digital cash. And I just felt so inspired that I say, okay, I gotta get involved with this. I gotta get my hands dirty. I was also very lucky to have Dr. Len Clanrock as an advisor to the nonprofit that I mentioned before. For those of you who don't know, Len Clanrock is literally the first person to send a package over the internet. He's the co-creator of ARPANET and professor at UCLA. And he had this whole vision about the internet back in the days as like so pure and so beautiful. And he saw the same with crypto, especially with the university side and how universities can actually shape this industry. And it was, just so inspiring. And, again, working with beautiful people. And here I am, despite, the part of my friend, the BS that we're seeing in these days and everything, there's still a lot of core value to this whole industry, to this tech, and there's a lot of stuff. And actually, shout out to anybody that is here. Honestly, if you're still in school and despite like everything that is going on, you're showing up for an event like this, you're gonna make it. Like, you're committed. So yeah, I leave it at that.
Yeah,
I want to add a bit on PG. Like those type of events, guys, are great. Like, doesn't matter you know crypto or not. It's just that the Web3 community is it's really a community. Like it's willing to help, willing to teach, willing to support. Like you don't find anyone which is arrogant. I mean, it can happen. Like okay, but we are just beautiful people that we like the philosophy of decentralization. So everyone is welcome.
Yeah, I love all the unique stories, and I really appreciate people still showing up tonight through the market and through all the FTX and Solana and all this other drama going on in the market, or just terrible inconveniences to everybody. Kind of like diving a little bit deeper into like your guys' everyday job. Alexi, do you want to start and just like talk a little bit more about AgroToken and what the business model is, and what your like day-to-day looks like?
Yeah, for sure. So AgroToken was funded in 2020 in when the starting of the pandemic. It's the first global infrastructure for commodity tokenization. So we started tokenizing agro commodities, especially soy, wheat, and corn in Argentina, Brazil, and the US, because 70% of those commodities are produced there. So we have already tokenized over 200,000 tons. That is over $100 million tokenized, and transacted 60% of those tons through our payment network. So that's a lot of money transacted through our payment network in the last 6 months that our product was actually in the market. And I mean, looking into the future, our plan is obviously stay in agro commodities, but to build the infrastructure that is able for everyone just who wants to hop on our infrastructure and tokenize ethanol, tokenize cattle, tokenize land. I mean, we have different MVPs with different partners on those commodities. And I think it's great that, as Benedetto was saying, it's a very collaborative industry. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to partner up. So, I mean, that's something that we've been taking advantage for, and just getting insights on everybody on the agro and on the commodity world. And luckily it's been working really, really well. So
awesome. Yeah, pretty unique model. I haven't really seen anywhere else in the market.
We don't have any competitors yet. So, or it's a really, really bad and crazy idea, or we're just first movers and advance on it.
Yeah, it's been awesome to learn about your guys' business model through like Gateway to Algorand. It was fun like making those slides and kind of putting together like case studies on your company. It's pretty unique, and I've never really seen anything else across the market. So, PG, you want to talk a little bit more about Algorand Foundation, and kind of what your day-to-day looks like?
Oh man, my day-to-day is it's a movie itself. Yeah, sure. So for those of you that they're not very familiar, and this is, I guess, like a good frame for you to understand how the industry works. Big layer one blockchains generally operate with a foundation who is tasked with fostering the ecosystem, the community, managing governance, some more than others, and overall growing the chain. Whereas there are, what we call inks, or like for-profit companies that generally, develop the protocol, maybe work on big partnerships, and do overall business development. We have this duality. So on our Algorand Foundation side, that's what we're tasked with. So grow the ecosystem. On my side, I'm in charge of the gaming vertical, which is definitely very exciting. Growing up playing video games and finding this great intersection between these two amazing technologies it's a lot of fun. So my day to day is like speaking to founders, making sure they're like plugged into the community. They're supported. We also make investments, whether in the form of grants, whether in the form of equity, whether in the form of tokens. Not really, to be honest, and I am actually happy for that. But making sure that people are building, and we align the right people with the right values that we have. Working on partnerships outside of the Algorand ecosystem, of course, bringing in new people. yeah, that's about it. And then I spend a good amount of time on Twitter and other unrelated stuff just to understand and untangle the craziness of this industry.
Awesome. Thanks. And last but not least, Folks Finance. Uh-oh.
Oh, Ben got rugged.
Uh-oh. I think he's frozen.
Yep.
All right. We'll move on. So that was a great little introduction to like everyone's backgrounds and how everyone got into Web3. I'd love to learn a little bit more about like finding your first job in crypto is like a huge topic right now, especially, I mean, in this presentation, we're talking about launching your early career in the blockchain ecosystem. A lot of students are looking to graduate out of university or either drop out of university and find a career in crypto. What was your approach to kind of like going about finding different opportunities? And what was your first job in the space? PG, do you want to kick it off?
Sure. Well, the best way is, again, as I said before, you gotta get your hands dirty. Like it's a double-edged sword in the sense that like the crypto community is so open and easy to get in. But at the same time, you have to know what you're talking about and you have to be serious and you have to show up. Otherwise, people will notice that you're not serious and you will not succeed, or like you will end up working bad jobs with bad companies. So definitely all of it starts from learning. Learn as much as you can, read as much as you can, so that when you go out, you can talk with people and have talking points and learn from them and debate them. I think it's a great practice in crypto to not just believe about anything that anybody tells you, even if it's Vitalik telling you that something is like that, just like go do some research. And then maybe you don't understand what he's talking about, and that's fair, okay. But like always have this like critical spirit. I think it's very important. My first job in crypto per se was by being a founder, I guess, and again getting my hands dirty and bootstrapping Buff. And then Buff itself we got involved with the Algorand ecosystem, got a couple of grants, helped like bootstrap the whole ACE program, and then I was just like asked to join the foundation, which was definitely very, very nice and like very exciting for me, also because like I had the pleasure to work with like Ugo, Tal, Fabrice, later on Doro, like Autumn, a lot of the amazing people. And another suggestion that I want to throw out there is like follow the people, not just the tech. I mean, it's great. Like there's a lot of cool tech outside there, but like follow the people that like you feel are aligning with your values and that you like as humans. It's like that easy, because otherwise it's going to be harder for you. That's I think should be like one of the key metrics on like how you evaluate getting involved with something, because like at the end of the day, it's also your time that you're putting in. So
yeah, definitely agree there. Like just always have questions ready. Like everyone's ready to answer questions. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. And then always do your own research. I think it's a very important one, especially in the current state of the market. Alexi, do you want to talk about, I know you're kind of newer to crypto, so I think you have a unique perspective.
I am. So I am new at crypto, but I mean, I was always eager to learn more about that technology. And I mean, as Pierre was saying, there's always a lot more to learn. Everybody's also reading, getting into what's new and asking questions. I think the thing that's most important for me is that you don't have to be, and that's why I was most scared when I started at AgriToken, is that you don't have to be a coding expert or a crypto expert to start and get a job in the crypto community world. I mean, you just have to understand what real world problems that technology can solve, and just believe it and want to solve the problems with the company you're in. There's lots of different jobs in a crypto company, and you don't have to be the coding expert. I mean, in my experience, it was crypto coding, computer expert, and it's not like that. There's so many different roles you can have in the company, and there's obviously you can learn about all of them, but just trying to get to know and understand what all the different roles do is the best thing to know what you really want to do. So that's my experience.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else had this kind of experience, but I think a lot of people kind of prefer like you to be focused solely on like business development or solely focused on coding and development, and kind of like choosing that path and becoming like an expert on it. It's because people kind of like cross over too much, and then they get too diluted, and then just like end up focusing too much in the middle when nothing really kind of gets done. And yeah, a lot of people just prefer like if you're marketing, you're 100% in marketing. If you're a developer, you're 100% heads down in development, and kind of just be the best at whatever you can be. And of course, you're kind of working towards the goal of mastering different subjects, but especially when you're coming in as an entry level, you want to kind of excel in one area over others.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also very important to understand, I mean, obviously not be an expert in everything, but to understand what marketing is doing is important, what risk is doing, what legals, obviously what technology is doing, because I mean, the problem you're solving is a real world problem that it's not, if you're just on marketing or just on technology, you have no idea what's going on with the problem you're solving. So I think it's master something, but get really knowledge and ask a lot of questions to the other employees on what they're doing.
Awesome. And Benedetto, I know you kind of zoned out there, just to go back to the question. We're just talking about like how you landed your first opportunity in crypto. What were the steps you took? And then what was your first job that you landed?
Yeah, so I like, I like people that want things, and I am one of those. So I was applying for a job, even if there wasn't a job position. And most of the time, these things work. Like, I really like people that right now apply for Folks Finance jobs. And since we are a startup, right, it's beautiful to see people that are passionate to join this mission. It's what I did, and so I like it also to see it, or new employees in Folks Finance. But in general, if I can give some advice, I'm reading the questions here. Guys, like a crypto startup, a crypto project, it doesn't matter how much it's big. It has a lot of roles. Like sometimes you don't even think that you can do something in there. So what I do when we have an interview, it's like I see the CV, okay, and I think, okay, this guy may be useful for this. Like, it's simple. And then we got to an interview, and I may propose, would you like to do this? We have this need right now. If it's yes, we jump on a deal. And think of Folks Finance. First of all, for those who doesn't know what Folks Finance is, decentralized lending protocol on Algorand. Obviously, how it works is basically you can lend your assets, someone else is borrowing it and paying an interest, and in a permissionless and decentralized way, the interest paid by the borrower are being distributed to the lender. To borrow, you have to over collateralize another crypto asset. Said that, when we started this, we started from few slides presenting the idea to an accelerator, and the team was like 4 people, and right now we are almost 25, huge growth. And I can tell you that out of the 20 new hired people, most of those was just people just requesting us for a job position. Okay, sometimes we post what we are looking for and we hire out of that. But we never do we never hire consulting company for looking for a specialist or whatever. Because the crypto sector, it's very particular, guys. It's not formed yet. It's new. It's difficult to hunt heads. So if you have even just passion for crypto and you are good in something, just try to talk for a company and send a CV and say, hey guys, this is me. Is there any position available for me? You might find a good job that you will like. Yeah, and so this is the way we do in the company. And it works. Also, we have many interns. Doro was also helping us a lot with the foundation. The Algorand Foundation does many programs. They are great. Also because there is one thing that I want to highlight here. So the way that Algorand is investing in students and academic knowledge, it's very important because most of the other blockchain, they are a bit of, far west. You can learn about it easily. Not that you can do in Algorand, but Algorand invests money in having students learning about Algorand and careers in blockchain. And that's important because this is the new generation of managers, of developers, and they are the well prepared, right? Because they are coming from an academic ground. And so investing your time to learn in Algorand, in my opinion, it's a very good, would be very beneficial for your future career. So that's what I feel that I want to say to the audience here.
Awesome. Thank you. Everyone's kind of like been working in crypto for a little while, and kind of experienced different things. Is there any, like, I know PG already hit on this a little bit, but Alexia, do you have any like advice for college students breaking into crypto right now?
I think the best advice I have given my experience is if you want to be a part of a crypto company, as I said before, believe in the solution they're offering. I mean, just being in crypto because you want to be in crypto and getting into a company that you don't like what they do or the solution they're providing is, or in my experience or how I like to do things, is not going to get you working good, is not going to get you working hard. And you're not going to want to learn more about what you're doing because you're not interested in what the output is going to be. And apart from that, as Pierre was saying, I think people is fundamental. Get a good boss, get a good environment with other employees. I mean, it's a community. It's not a job from 9 to 6. It's something has to be really fun and that you want to be learning about. And you want, or in my experience, that it's very early in my career, getting someone that wants to teach you is fundamental. If you want to learn, you have to have someone that wants to teach you. So have a good boss and like what you do.
Awesome. Pete, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, RIP to Ben's connection, I guess, but hopefully it'll be back. As I said, like, one thing that, for example, like, it also depends on, like, the different countries, right? Like, for example, in the US, there's this strong culture about, like, having a mentor. In Italy, it is not that way. And unfortunately, so I would say, finding a good mentor, I think it's good, and aligning with the great people. Like, having a good boss is definitely that. But especially if you're within your, like, still in school or within your university environment, align with key people who are pushing what you're interested in. It might not even be blockchain, of course, like we're talking about blockchain here, but like if you're interested in like data science, go talk to like the professors that are like putting out papers, organizing events and stuff like that. They would be a great gateway for you. You will not make it on your own. Like, doesn't matter if you graduated magna cum laude or whatever. Yes, you will land a good job maybe here and there, but like you wanna, again, be out there, get to know the people beforehand, right? Because again, like, it's work, but it's also like human components. So again, like, you want to make sure you're working for the same values and for the people that share your same values, I guess. And I want to like highlight this and like really stress on this, especially for the times that we're in right now. It showed that, like, doesn't matter if you come from Ivy League or like you might be the smartest in the room or whatever. It doesn't matter if your ethics are not there. Long term, you're not gonna get rewarded.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, like, everything nowadays is open sourced. You can learn everything on your own and kind of like get a leg ahead if you're willing to put in time and effort and just reading. Just like first thing in the morning, just read, and then also write. Writing is also a great way to put in context everything that you're learning. And if you're able to teach what you're reading, you're gonna be able to better understand it and better be able to explain it to other people and have better conversations. So I mean, you can just start your morning like that, 7 a.m., 9 a.m. Just wake up and start reading, whether Twitter or Messari or whatever it might be, some kind of news. outlet for crypto. Benedetto, do you want to add anything? Just like advice for college students breaking into the industry?
Yeah, I think PG was very right. Like, because obviously the working environment is very different than university. So once you are finishing that, you could start to do it before. It is beautiful to see when at crypto events there are students that are just interested and they start to join even more business networking related events. But still, you could do. And also, for example, for our company, we have even students that are still under their lessons, but they work part-time. Why not? If you are able to and if you are passionate to, there is always a way. And I can give also a nice advice. Web3 is also enough famous for being flexible with the employees. So we don't give rules. Like, you can start to work whenever you want. You can work remotely. We have the office in Milan, so who can go to the office obviously is welcome. But you are free to really work at your time, at your speed. It's important for us that you just achieve your duty, and until you are good for us, we are good with you. So that's our own only rule. So guys, don't think that Web3 is hostile in any way. It's totally the contrary. Then it depends then on each company, but I always suggest you to try. Don't get annoyed before even trying, because if you try, I will assure you that you are surprised. You would be surprised.
Yep, always learn by doing. I mean, you can read, you can do, you can look outward in, but you won't know what you like and what you don't like until you try everything. And I know sometimes it is kind of taking risks and kind of taking a step out into unknown, but it pays off in the end. And at least you'll know that you won't want to be a part of it, or you will want to be part of it going forward. And kind of like pivoting the conversation, I'd love to look more forward into Web3 and to your guys, all of your careers. What are you guys excited for in 2023 in Web3 as a whole? PG, do you want to start?
That's a nice question after those days. Like, PG 1 week ago was telling me, oh man, Alameda is in problem. Everything started to crash after that.
I've been skeptical for a little bit, but yeah, it's you gotta be always skeptical, guys. Like, even of like what I'm telling you, honestly, like I like to think I'm, supposedly like, not like trying to speak the truth as much as I can, but like always verify. Like, this industry is literally, built on the whole premise of like we should not trust, we should just be able to verify. So I just want to drop a link here. This is like probably the most encompassing intro to blockchain fundamentals course you can find out there. It's by Tim Roughgarden. He's a professor at Columbia, part of A16Z research team. It is a fairly technical course. Some of the things you might not be interested in or might be, too much. But if you want to really understand how protocols work, which I think you should, then watch this course. You just watch it. You don't need to take any tests or whatever. But another thing I would want to recommend, guys, is another great way to learn about this industry is actually using the products that are out there. You want to learn how DeFi works, go use Fox Finance, check their docs, read what they're doing, and try it out for you. If it doesn't make sense to you, hit Benedetto on Twitter and ask him, hey, why do you guys do this? And he's going to be there answering. If they don't answer you, then get alerted, as we have seen in the recent days. But Ben, the original question was around what did you ask me? Sorry, I forgot. I went on a little tangent there.
Oh, it's okay. It's like, what are you excited for in Web3? And
all right, in 2023. Well, of course, gaming, guys. Absolutely, I think it's gonna be the next one, the next like big driver. for blockchain, especially in these liquidity crunches, especially as like we've seen all the financial speculation stuff weeding away. Gaming is a very low barrier to entry for most users. There's a lot of gamers out there. It's like more than 3 billion people playing video games every day. If done properly on the crypto side, then crypto games can be very fun. Unfortunately, what we've seen Rust for now kind of doesn't work, mainly because of like speculation and like building this type of like systems and games around like tokens and like how do we make the maximum profit out of it and not around the experience. I want to just like, you know, just throw this out there. We have a bunch of games on Algorand, a bunch of others coming out. So I want to share a couple of very useful links with you guys. We have this very cool casual gaming platform called Zone, who's about to start a very big tournament where you can win some algos. So as you take breaks in between work or in between classes, you can play, you know, some cool games. You know, in the very casual games, Candy Crush, like Hoops, who, you know, remember like that game on the iPhone where you shoot the ball. It's just like very casual games. You can win algos. It's you know, it's cool way to pass some time. And definitely, if you want to keep up with the Algorand gaming ecosystem, I would recommend you to follow Algo Gaming Guild. Oh, I see someone that has played AlgoSeas. Yeah, man, that's another pretty cool project. Yeah. By the way, it is a good, actually great segue. Another great way to get involved with in the industry is like, you like a product and like, oh, I really like this. Let me get closer to the guy. I would like to work with these guys. As an early user, that's a great way. Like, you use the product, you have great valuable feedback for the founders because they're bootstrapping. And that's a great way, especially if it's a small team and you can prove yourself and like they like you and they like what you're saying. It's a great way to get a job.
Thanks for that. I've also played AlgoSeas a few times.
All right, nice.
Yeah, I had to try it out for myself. I haven't really played anything in decentralized gaming yet, so that was kind of my first go. Alexi, do you want to talk about what you're looking forward to in Web3 in the next year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think everybody has their mind set to where they are. So I strongly believe, I mean, the commodity world is going to change. If it's not with AgriToken, it's going to be with someone else. But it's an industry that has been the same and working in a very wrong and slow and untransparent and very friction way for over 100 and more than 100 years, maybe some commodities even more. And I think that the Web3 has come to change gaming, has come to change lending, payments, financing, shopping, even maybe, and it would also change commodities. I mean, I think that the real world, as we know it, it's not going to be there for much longer.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And then, Benedetto, you don't have any future predictions?
Yeah, I mean, those days for me were insightful. I'll tell you something. Yesterday, I had a call with an investor. As one of my duty in my role, it's also to talk with investor and organize the fundraisers for Fox Finance. And he told me at the end of my pitch, he was like, "Are you trying to pitch me DeFi in the worst day of DeFi?" And I was like, "No, this is not actually the worst day of DeFi. This is one of the best day for DeFi. It is a bad day for crypto, but it's a good day for DeFi." What has happened in the last year, during this year, it's a lot of lesson that we are all learning about, and centralized finance is just doing a terrible job. So they are simply with their own hands demonstrating that you can't trust them, and we have a simple and already ready solution for that, which is DeFi, right? So I am very bullish on the adoption on DeFi. And how do I see the adoption growing on DeFi? Obviously, there is a need. The main need is that we remove friction into the Web3, but also with the new generation, there will be a change of of mentality. People will accept that they may need to store their seed phrase somewhere and taking this risk. But still, like there are tools being built that will simplify this a lot. So once this happens, that there is less friction in the usage of protocol, also it's a duty of us builders to try to build products that are simple. As PG said, be transparent, write docs, and he said a very important things, guys. If you are looking to learn a new project, just go and try. Most of us, we have testnet, so you are playing with fake assets, not risking your money. You learn how to use the protocol, you can read the docs, is everything clear, and then you go with it. But in general, this is not happening in centralized finance. And I think that we will take over their market because it's just better, more efficient, and no one is using your money on your behalf without you don't know it. And also one thing that is related to AgroToken, for me, it's super interesting to see how this tokenization of real world asset is happening. And I think Algorand is the perfect place for that. And from my side, obviously, I'm very bullish because I see all of these tokenized assets as possible collateral on Volks Finance. And once this will happen, that we will have, for example, the soya from AgroToken free on the permissionless market on Algorand, and farmers will be able to take loan out of their crops in a permissionless way. Oh my God, this is just, it's amazing for me. So yeah, I am bullish on this, like the adoption on DeFi. And I explained what are for me the key drivers of that will bring this.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing and bringing a little bit more positivity throughout next year instead of just looking back at the last few days. I know we're coming up on time here. So like last question, do you have any opportunities kind of like, or what's the future of each of your respective businesses look like for the next year to come? And do you have any open like availabilities for internships? Are you looking to hire anyone? Are you looking to hire in the near future? Just kind of talk about your growth and kind of your expected plans for your business over the next year. And then if you have any opportunities available. Benito, do you want to start with for Volks Finance?
Yeah, so I will bring this larger. So Volks Finance, it's under Blockchain Italia, which is a software house. So I repeat what I said before, guys. If you want to work in blockchain and you just have a CV ready, just send it over. We have a form on our website, on Volks Finance website, that you can apply for. And then we will review if you fit in any of the needs that we have right now. We will bring you on the team. You can work remotely. Any interns that works with us is paid, which is not usual. So even if you want to start to learn, for example, we have many tasks that we get support from interns from the economics team. Volks Finance is built on maths, it's financial. So even if you have a degree in economic, you can just work with us simply, and you know about crypto. It's easy to get on board, not very difficult until you are passionate and smart. That's it. And then there are many other positions that we can look for it, like marketing, community. Just do it.
Awesome. Dora sent that link in the chat, so definitely take a look at that. Add to your to-do list to go fill out the form and take a look at Volks Finance when you get the chance. And definitely go play around with it. Alexi, do you have anything to add about AgroToken?
Yeah, I mean, we just finished validating our products here in Argentina, and the traction was great. So now our goal for next year is getting into the Brazilian and the US market, which are huge productive players and huge markets to be in. So for sure, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Anyone who wants to base in Sao Paulo or in Miami, we're opening offices there next year. I mean, in Brazil, we already have, but we're building our team. So, I mean, for sure, next year, we're Our goal is to tokenize 1 million tons worldwide. That's 5 billion in assets. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for sure. Our human resources department is not that great. So just open to connect with me on LinkedIn and we'll make it happen.
Awesome. And I think someone will drop your LinkedIn if you haven't already. But definitely send Alexia a message if you're interested in learning more about that opportunity. PG, do you want to talk about Algorand Foundation? Now, Dora briefly mentioned internships coming soon.
Yeah, Dora and I fought a hard battle to get this internship program in, and we ran the first cohort, which was very successful. And we had a lot of, not a lot, it was like what, 4 or 5, Dora. So that's, it's a lot in our scheme of things, I guess. We're planning on scaling that and get more people interested. And again, if you're in school, please apply. I mean, Dora has all the information. I would like another thing, I don't know, I would assume that most of you out there are still in school, but like if you're like a little later in your career, we have a bunch of open roles as Algorand Foundation. But an internship is definitely a great foot in the door. Other couple of ways you can get involved. First one, get involved with the projects building on Algorand. Great way, as I said. And that's also how you can work within the ecosystem and be valuable also to Algorand as a blockchain if you believe in it and you think it's cool and you wanna put some work into that. And last but not least, we have a bunch of community related jobs that are not per se as employees, but you can be a community ambassador or champion. I don't know what we call it now, but if you feel like you're in a place where there's a good crypto community that could be activated and you maybe want to run a couple of meetups, that's a great way to get involved. So again, different avenues. Feel free also to ping us and reach us. But yeah, and be active on Twitter. That's another great thing.
Yeah, I can add to that real quick. So as I posted in the chat, we're going to launch the internship program officially very soon. We'll have technical and non-technical roles across all verticals. So you don't always need to be, super blockchain maven and expert. We're pretty good about offering mentorship opportunities and making sure that interns can really learn what they want to learn and dive into different areas. So last summer, we would connect with our interns who were from all over, from Turkey, from Africa, from the States, and they work in very different fields. And we would often ask them, what are you most interested in? Who do you want to talk to? If they're local, we would take them to events and conferences and make sure they meet the right people that they want to meet. And we're hoping to put that live very soon. I also put in the chat our Algorand Blockchain Clubs program that we're launching soon. My colleague Eva is managing that, who's currently in Argentina at La BitConf. So Benedetto, maybe you'll run into her. And part of that program is us really seeing the potential that blockchain clubs on the ground really offer to the space and supporting them on a large global scale starting next year. So we're already doing that with AlgoHub down in Australia and APAC, and it's been going really well. We work together with Cryptosphere in France. We're proud partners of Blockbeam. They're doing great things. So keep your eyes peeled for more to come. We really believe in students as our big audience and target group. So we're very excited to be working with you guys. And as soon as the internship program is up, we'll announce it in the newsletter. So please go to our website and just sign up or contact me on Twitter or LinkedIn. And as soon as that's up and running, I will send you more details.
Awesome. And if I could just hop in with some final thoughts as well that I think everyone up here will agree with. Web3 is probably one of the most, community-based. It is the most community-based industry I think we've ever seen. And the Algorand Foundation is obviously at a certain size that, they've got their act together, having a formal internship program. But with most of the other projects in the space, a lot of the hiring happens very ad hoc. You actually have to be actively putting in the work, putting content on Twitter to show what you're doing to get exposure and then get picked up by one of these projects. And I think that gets a lot easier when you have a community behind you. And that's really what the purpose of Blockbeam is. We're here to, help expose you to recruiters, help expose you to employers in the space, but give you a community of people that you can work with as you develop these skills and just lean on to help you uncover these opportunities that might not always be making it to a job board. And Alexia is an AgriToken involved through the Gateway to Algorand program. We'd love to get folks integrated as well. So definitely an awesome way to kind of get into the ecosystem.
Cool. Well, I think on that note, Drew, Bennett, thank you so much for organizing this great panel. We're big fans of Blockbeam over here. Alexia, Benedetto, PG, thanks so much for making time. I know it's late for some of us. I think Bennett and Drew, for you, it's the earliest. For the rest of us, it's a little late. Thanks to everyone who came. There's so many people from all over the world. I'm always amazed when I see the registrations. And there's people from so many countries who make the time to come and ask questions and be engaged. So it's really, for me, it's always a big motivator when I come we do these events to see how many people are behind this. And yeah, stay in touch, reach out. We'll do more of these events. If you happen to be in Argentina, my colleague Eva is doing a workshop at the University of Buenos Aires on Monday. And then later this month, our community champion, Sergio, is doing a workshop at Università Roma Tre. Sorry, I'm butchering that, PG, but it's Roma Tre is also Algorand Center of Excellence, and they will do a workshop in application development and have a bunch of different talks. So check out our events website where you can sign up for all of these events completely for free. So we look forward to seeing you more at more of these. The recording will be emailed to you right after this, and we'll probably follow up in an email tomorrow or early next week.
Last quick thing, Dora, sorry. There's a forum next week in Milan, organized actually by Benedetto, his team, and Blockchain Italia. Dropping the link in the chat. It's Friday 18 and Saturday 19. There's going to be a lot of top ecosystem players within Algorand, a bunch of people from Foundation and Algorand Inc. Great way to get involved, and Milan is a beautiful city, of course, so you should come. It's gonna be a little cold if you're not used to it.
Thanks,
but
PG.
if you're in Italy, just go. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well,
you can get Folks Finance t-shirt like this with Algorand. So, guys.
And maybe this hat, but I don't know. Maybe we shall see.
You get some bad comments about the hat earlier. I don't know.
No, it's good. It's very rare. I got it. I haven't seen bash hats for a while, so I'm proudly wearing the bash hat.
Got to steal it off PG's head.
Yep, that's the only way, I guess.
All right, everybody, then enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks so much for coming. Yeah, give us a follow and we'll be in touch. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.